Once again, this is Chris Report, and he assured me that since Simonstown and Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Chris Wyatt Reports on this Friday, August 9th, 2024. Broadcasting live from central Pennsylvania in the midst of what feels like a tropical storm. Floodwaters going through the swales on the back of my property from the neighbors. It was like a creek had started and down the side between my property and the other neighbors. Thankfully, it's grass covered, so it didn't wash away all the soil, but that went on for a good half hour. It was pretty epic there. Wow, crazy stuff there. Johannes Opperman says, Chris, your opening with this lekker song, did the boer at least make you drink? No, that hasn't happened. Welcome back to the program, folks. It's a Friday. It's a lekker Freitag, and welcome back. Elke lieve ding. Yep. Every dear thing in life is what it's all about. It is Friday. And welcome to everybody around the world, whether you're in Österreich, who received a bronze medal today. It's Women's Day in South Africa, commemorating a march in 1956 to end past laws. We're going to get to that in just a moment. Also give you an update on the Olympics, where many medals have been handed out so far today. I think 43 medals are being handed out today. It's a huge medal day, including the men's 4x4 100-meter relay, the final, and Botswana had the highest qualifying time, or lowest qualifying time, I should say. Rainier Dutoy's 37 months. Thank you, Rainier. Thank you for your membership. Yeah, and then also we find out today that Noah Lyles ran that men's 200-meter race with the Rona. He was afflicted with the Rona. No wonder he collapsed after the race. It took all of his constitution to compete in that race. He didn't tell anybody, and he won a bronze medal. It's pretty impressive. Not to take anything away from the gentleman from Botswana who won it, Lesotho, excuse me. We'll talk about more of that as we go along. Got some stories. The skinflint, tightwad, shyster president of Botswana, Eric Masisi, has given a half-day holiday. A half day? Dude, how about a week? At least a day. Clive Streak is here from the outset. Harley Davidson says, yeah, it's been woke. The Robbie Starbucks exposed them, the Tractor Supply Store and others. That seems to be Robbie Starbucks' MO these days, is exposing people who are woke, and I find it interesting. I've interviewed Robbie on the program before, but not recently. Pierre Orban is here. Misty, welcome, Misty. Hello. Sue Walsh. Malcolm Clote in from his Riviera spot. Arctic is in. I think he's back in the land of jacarandas. Leah Menard, Dylan Combrick is here. Teresa, I kind of missed yesterday. Well, please go back and watch it or let it play in the background and give me credit for the view. It always helps. And Mo2310 AI Recordings, welcome to you. Who else we got there? Diane McMeekin is back again. And then, who else? Whoops, it jumped ahead on me there. Gabriel's in von der Schweiz. Na, wie geht's, Gabriel? Ich hoffe, es geht ziemlich gut in der Schweiz heute. LL Entertainment, to all the women, to all the ladies out there. Cheers. A toast to all the ladies in our lives and not in our lives. And to all the boredom I see. Nothing wrong with farm girls. FarmersOnly.com. Yep. LL Entertainment, thank you for that. Paulie, the brains behind the operation. What's the pinned comment link? Paulie, were you not here? That is my new live streaming platform. After Aiden Davis, or whatever that guy's name is, had 600,000 people catching his live stream on a platform, and then 100 million watched it, his interview with Trump afterwards, which was a ridiculously pathetic interview. But, you know, he's in his 20s, and so, woo! Yeah, then it was Trump. But after he got 100 million views, I said, okay, it's time for me to open a Kick account. And I have a Kick account now. Did a little tinkering with it this morning. Apparently, you can only do live streaming on there. But it's still in the beta phase, but it's been in beta phase for over a year. So here you go. There is my Kick account. It's called Red Storm Rising. And no, it's not the Soviet Red Army or the Chinese communists, but conservative Red Storm Rising. 14 followers already. If anybody else would please go become a follower. Once I get to 75 followers, I can do things with the channel I can't do right now. So I'm looking forward to that. Red Storm Rising. You can see there's some rather big audiences over. One dude's got 2,700 people watching him right now. Another 100, 500. Yeah, so there you go. Anyway, but I can only do live streams on it for the moment, so please check it out, folks. That is Red Storm Rising, and I'll be doing live streams over there. Might start as early as Sunday. I'm not sure. We'll give it a shot. That's what it is. Paulie. For those who don't know, that's why it's clicked there. So please become a follower over there. I don't know if you even have to have an account. Maybe you do. I don't know. But just go over and click on it. So I suppose you have to have an account if you're going to be a follower. What's the situation in Ukraine? Well, it's not good, Gabriel. The Ukrainians have invaded Russia. The innocent, poor, victimized, beleaguered Ukrainians are using Western military hardware to murder Russian civilians. Not a good situation. George Steinberg, welcome to you, coming in from Heckport as always. And who have I missed here? Ulrich Fenter, I missed you. Monre Sieberts is here, as well as Stay Curious. Well, hello, Stay Curious. Good to see you. I'm glad to see you're always curious. Emil Third is in, always there. Good to see you again. Alan Kutza. And for all the viewers who never comment, thanks for watching. I know I don't call your names out because you're unknown to us, but we know that there are hundreds, thousands of people who watch this program. Many of them watch it live, and they just don't comment, and that's their preference. And thank you for your viewership. For those who don't have a YouTube account, please understand that it limits the growth of my channel. If it's your personal preference, particularly in South Africa, I know that people don't trust Google, Alphabet, YouTube, and with good reason. I appreciate that. But trust me, whatever information on you they want to have, they already have. Just making a Google account will not make you any more victimized by social media tech giants who are massing data on you in data centers. They already have it, and they'll get it however they want. So if you are inclined to help the channel, please become a subscriber, and please have a YouTube account. If you don't, it really would help us. We do appreciate that. So, well, let me open the link. It's just blank. What? Nah. Hang on a second. No, I just opened it. I'll put it in a link again. It just opened for me. I'll put it in here again. I can't believe they're already shadow banning me. It can't possibly be the case. I thought if you have data for them to access, they have access. Dylan, they can get. Look, I worked in IT. I worked at the National Security Agency. We spied on people. That's what we do for a living. And so, especially electronic surveillance. The data is there. They can get it. You know, if you have a bank account, if you own property, if you have a driver's license, if you were born, if you shop, if you go through toll booths, yeah, they have your information. It's not a big secret. Will Ian Kama go back to Botswana? I don't think so. Not as long as the false allegations and false warrants for his arrest are out there. If Masisi is booted out of government, yes, he'll go back, but I don't think that's going to happen. Could somebody else go try out the link right now other than Paulie and see if they can get it? Paulie, I think, uses Rich White People Toys Apple, and that might be the problem. But I just opened it up, and it's there. So someone else give it a shot if you don't mind. Stärker mit Ma, Teresa. What's going on right here? This heute gedaan. Okay, all right, got you. How do they find you when you didn't drive? I didn't say anything about finding. Yeah, Elsa tried it and it works. And look at that, Pierre's in too. Okay. Oh, you're on the laptop this evening. Okay. Well, it works for Lev, and thank you all. And those who become subscribers, let me see if I gained any more. I had 14 when we started this program. Look at me trolling for new followers, and I haven't put anything out over there. Nope, still got 14. Still got 14 of you reliable folks. It's kind of a weird site, but it's got a lot of traction. It's where a lot of younger viewers are, so I'm going to check it out. Thank you, LL Entertainment. All right, so let's give you some updates here, folks. Let's just kind of go stadig or de clipper. Stadig or de clipper. All right, let's do that right now. All right, ouch, 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 stepping on those rocks. All right, so I know my pronunciation is terrible. Don't give me grief for that, folks. All right, so today, medals being awarded left and right in sport climbing. Earlier this morning, Great Britain's Tony Roberts took the gold. Japan's Anraku Sorato took the silver. And Jakob Schubert from Österreich got the bronze. Congratulations to Austria for pulling in a medal. In the men's water polo earlier this morning in the 5th to 8th place, who really cares? Spain beat Italy. Nobody cares. In the women's field hockey bronze medal match, Argentina beat out Belgium. I guess in a penalty shootout or something like that. They won 3 penalties to 1, got the bronze medal. Tough one. In water polo, the men for the U.S. in a semifinal lost to Serbia decisively 10-6. Disappointing for the U.S. men. They played for the bronze. In diving, the women's 3-meter springboard, the Chinese, of course, dominate once again. Chen Yuen with the gold, and Austria's Madison Keeney got the silver. Chang Yani got the bronze. In football, soccer as we properly call it, the women's bronze medal match, Germany defeated Spain 1-0. And a hell of a save by Spain during the game. And people said, well, if Germany loses, it'll be because of that save. But Spain never scored. In table tennis, surprise, surprise, in the men's gold medal match, China team match beats Sweden 3-0. Sweden gets the silver. In weightlifting, it was Carlos Mai Nasser, Bulgaria, 89 kgs, gets the gold. Yason Lopez from Colombia got the silver, surprising. Antonio Pizzolato got the bronze. Well, in breaking, in the girls, why is it called the girls, not the women's, but the girls pre-qualifier battle, India defeated the former Soviet states, or the Russian team, Talash. And in men's volleyball, the U.S. men disappointed, but they do go to the bronze medal match, and they defeat Italy decisively, shut them out 3-0. USA men get a bronze in men's volleyball. Congratulations there. Breaking for the B girls is underway right now. There's other things, taekwondo, handball. In men's semifinal, Germany has defeated Spain, so the men's handball, Germany goes to the final. In basketball, the women's semifinals, currently the United States rolling over Australia 45-27. They're just smoking them right now. And in the men's gold medal match for soccer, it's France currently leading Spain 1-0. The game just started, so they scored pretty quickly. Water polo, men's 5th or 8th, who cares? Wrestling, we've got that coming up right now starting. Men's freestyle 74 kg. USA is playing Kyle Douglas Dake is placing against Takanati Dachi from Japan. But what we're all really, truly excited about, folks, is 1:30. About this time, this program is scheduled to go off. It'll be the women's 4x4 100-meter relay final. And then not too long after that, the men's will be coming up. The men's 4x4 100 relay final will be at 13:47 my time, which makes it 7:47 South African time. Those two things are going to be exciting. The women's first and then the men's back-to-back. That is going to be epic. I'll try to remember to switch it over. Won't be able to play it for you, but we will be able to probably catch a few seconds of it here. The United States now has 30 medals. The Chi-Coms are out to 32 golds. We have just 30. But with the men's basketball, the women's basketball, that's 2 more, most likely, not assured, but pretty certain gold medal for the U.S. men and women. That takes us to 32 with the Chi-Coms. And then if we do well in the track and field events, we can surpass them. 104 medals in Paris for the USA. South Africa still stuck on 4, but a couple chances to get a medal today for South Africans. So let's see if they can pull that out. And hopefully they can. Where is South Africa? I'm trying to find, here they are. Still 4 medals. And half of those medals belong to Tatiana Smith. Right. Well, let's talk about today, folks. On the 9th of August, 1956, 20,000 South African women from all walks of life, rich, poor, black, white, Asian, Indian, colored, broke apartheid barriers and marched to the Union buildings in Pretoria to protest past laws. This year is the 65th anniversary of that event. When you strike a woman, you strike a rock. We, the women of South Africa, have come here today. We represent and we speak on behalf of the hundreds of thousands of women who could not be with us, but all over the country at this moment. Women are watching and thinking of us. Their hearts are with us. We are women from every part of South Africa, women from every race. We come from the cities and the towns, from the reserves and the villages. We come as women united in our purpose to save the African women from the degradation of passes. It's an excerpt from the petition that was placed at Union Buildings on the 9th of August, 1956. So those women in that iconic photograph, which at the beginning was Lillian Ngoyi, who was born in 1911 in Pretoria. She died in 1980 at the age of 69. Sophia Williams de Bruin, born in 1938, and she's still alive. Raima Musa, born in the Western Cape in Strand in 1922. 1970, she died at the age of 71 from a heart attack. And Albertina Sisulu, of course we know who that is, born in 1918 in the Transkei. Helen Joseph, born in 1905 in Sussex, England. She was diagnosed with cancer in 1971 and passed away in 1992 in Johannesburg. Those are the iconic women in that. So congratulations to women out there on Women's Day today in South Africa. Paulie can't get to it. I don't know why. Maybe you've got it blocked somehow. Name your top 5 developed African cities. Well, give me a moment here. Right. Pierre's in as well. And Johannes Opperman can get in as well. Let me see if any of you joined who weren't there before. We had 14. Let's see if I've got more. No, it's still 14. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to you on this holy day. Friday for Jews, Saturday for Muslims, and I know, is it the other way around? And Sunday for Christians. South African men's team are running the 4x4. Yep, they sure are. But Botswana and USA are the favorites there. Yep. Kink link opens up, but requires. Okay, there you go. Okay, that's what I kind of thought. You might need an account. All right, so yeah, if you want to set up an account and follow me there, please do. Red Storm Rise will be talking about politics, conservative politics. That's what I'm going to do. That's the plan. It'll just be live streaming, and we'll see if it's hopefully not a censorship platform. But based on what I saw from that one guy ranting, I think it's not a censorship platform. Anyway, and they let Trump be on there, so cool. It's kind of dark in here, isn't it? Let me lighten it up a little bit. It's a little bit better. Yeah, I had it on low because it was raining outside. Top 5 developed African cities. I don't mean by developed. All African cities have slums and rundown areas, so it's tough to say. But developed as far as, nice cities? I don't know. That's tough to say. Abidjan is developed. Nairobi is developed. Cairo is developed. Tunis is developed. Casablanca is developed. So Gaborone has no slum. That's not true, Icano. That's not true. Out by the railroad tracks towards the reservoir. Yep, that's a slum. That's an informal settlement out there. It's pretty nasty. Yep, sure does. But beyond that, not really. If you go down the main drag and head down there, the cut back onto the road takes you over to Game City. You'll see that before you cross the tracks. Yeah, though the weather here is like Cape Town today. Most developed country in Africa. Again, that's a difficult one. South Africa was the most developed country in Africa, but it was uneven development. Today, Mauritius is pretty well developed. Morocco is pretty well developed, but they've all got challenges and drawbacks. Look, nothing's perfect anywhere, folks. All right, so looks like you want to chat instead of hear the news, and that's fine for the moment. We can chat. I was going through some Afrikaans songs earlier, and some of them pretty cool. Some of the newer ones out there. You've got Vlerke, Ek sal as jy sal, Elke liewe ding, Stedig oor die klippe, and Ver. Yep. Download the app and use Google to register. I already have the info. Exactly, Teresa. Sunny today and 30 degrees. 30? Really? In wintertime? That seems odd. In South Africa, wintertime. Told me only to go now. Huh? I have no idea what's going on here. What are you guys talking about over here? Anyway, yeah, so Tim Walz's career, his politics, his performance, his actions are coming over even more scrutiny, folks. I was going to say this earlier on, but he has now been exposed as someone who hangs out with an imam who's a fascist, pro-Hitler, anti-Semite, a religious cleric in Minneapolis who is a friend of Tim Walz, who attends at least 5 of his events in recent history. Icona says, I regard South Africa as the most developed, and doesn't matter if I only got one big city. Norway also has many towns and villages. Yeah, that's fair, Icona. I won't disagree, but I would say Mauritius is better developed than Botswana, that's for sure. 40% of Botswana, 36% of Botswana still lives under the international poverty line of $2.60 per day. Yeah, and most of the country is desert. Updates on Ronaldo, who's doing well. I chatted with him a couple days ago. When I put out the video on MK, he sent me a note letting me know that it was there. I guess he wanted me to make sure I put a video on it. But I'd already recorded the video when I received it from him, and I said, I'm on it. So I sent him a link. He watched the video. He liked it. Yeah, the MK video didn't get that many views. So it's just over 3,000. I thought it'd get a lot more. It took off like that, and then it just, it's still going slowly. Nice day. 36 degrees. My goodness. Well, that's KZN. That's always immune from winter for the most part. Marilyn's here. Welcome, Marilyn. How's it going? Always great to see Marilyn. Excuse me. Hiccups there. All right. It's a Friday. So, for those who don't want to sign up for Kick, I get it. I understand. But you're going to miss out on some really cool content once I get going over there. I've already figured out how to use it, so we go from there. Nice winter day, but the problem is it's so awkward making sure it got started and if you're live and all that. Oh, Maryland had a nice day in Joburg as well. Northcliffe. 50 likes, 81 people currently here. Let's switch over on a Lekker Freitag to the news and talk a little bit about the news. By the way, a Democratic senator in California has jumped ship from the Democratic Party and joined the Republicans. So, Dudu Zili Zuma has a cult of personality, according to those in the party who are getting ousted in the MK party. I reported on this yesterday, and some MK supporter came on and told me to shut up. Shut up. Who are you to comment on this? And stay out of MK business. I'm like, dude, it's the freaking news. Go to the corner, release the handle you got on your penis, and, just relax. It's not that big a deal. And who am I? I'm a Homo sapien. That's right. I can report on anything I want. I can discuss any topic I want. And you can footsec, little clown. MK is a party of personalities, what it is. Just like the EFF, and just like COPE. Parties of personality. That's all they are. So here we go, folks. Dudu head Zuma's running MK party like a cult, a source claims. News 24 is all over the story. They clearly don't like MK party. Dudutzilla, Zuma, and Sile Mkubani are pushing people out. Well, that's what they said yesterday. That's not new. MK party insiders told News 24 that in July, the party wrote to Secretary of Parliament Zola George about the removal of certain MPs. The source said that Baba, Jacob Zuma, called us into a meeting 2 weeks ago and said he is happy with us and he's glad that we're in Parliament. Baba is not aware of this thing. It's just Dudutzilla and Sile Mkubani. Well, there you go. She's running the party like it's a cult. Well, she should be in prison, should she not, for inciting violence and participating in a coup attempt in an insurrection in July 2021. Did she not, along with her little goofy brother, do that? Did I miss something? Cabello Guacha's back. Welcome to you. Exactly, LL. They don't, okay. People consider South Africans xenophobic, but they don't regard Libya, Algeria, Morocco, and Egypt as African, nor do they regard Indians as African, nor do they regard white Africans as Africans, because they're just racists and bigots. All those people are from Africa and of Africa. Africa is not a black continent. It was never a black continent. It is a continent with a large black population, a very diverse black population, but it is not a black continent. It has never been. Hundreds of millions of Arabs and tens of millions of whites and tens of millions of coloreds and tens of millions of Indians does not make it a black continent, and it never has been. Yep. Well, they fired 20 people in that party. Isn't that fascinating? I talked about that yesterday. Former President Jacob Zuma's MK has fired at least 20 of its members. Yeah, we reported on that yesterday. Less than a month after he was reinstated positions, he was fired early this month together with Treasurer General Danisa Zulu. What's going on, MK Party? Is it just a joke, or are they serious? Well, folks, there are consequences to the xenophobia and bigotry against the Miss South Africa finalist, and South Africa is paying a price now. Not just the country, but authors. Miss South Africa controversy. International Literary Festival cancels South Africa over injustices linked to the affair. The Puebla International Literature Festival in Mexico, an annual event dedicated to celebrating literature and promoting cultural exchange, has rescinded South Africa's designation as the country in focus for this year's festival. This follows a controversy over the withdrawal of Miss South Africa finalist Chidima Adetshina, who has been the subject of xenophobic attacks on social media, with many, including cabinet ministers, questioning her citizenship like Kate McKenzie. Organizers of the literary festival, who also withdrew invitations that had extended South African authors, cited recent developments that deeply troubled the African community. It is with a sense of sadness we acknowledge that the distressing events in South Africa, where the apparatus of the state, coupled with the troubling silence of many within the cultural sphere, have enabled a climate of mob rule. This has led to the victimization of Chidima Adetshina, her family, and members of immigrant communities in South Africa, thus undermining the very principles of justice, equality, and human dignity that literature seeks to uphold, said the festival director Aikina Okea in a statement. And I agree 100%. On 100%. This is horrific behavior. And a so-called legal expert says that she shouldn't be in the competition. That's BS. Yep. Well, Miss South Africa organizers have yet to comment on the latest developments on title hopeful. A legal expert believes she should pull out of the event, and I think the legal expert should go sit down and shut up. Tendai Mtawarira played for South Africa. He's not a South African. Tendai Mtawarira is Zimbabwean. He played for the Springboks. Okay? CJ Stander is not Irish. Björn Skuman is not Scottish. Kyle Sten is not Scottish. These are South Africans. but they play for other countries' national sides. Ridiculous nonsense. But to be fair, though, I don't think they should be playing for those countries. They should be playing for their own country. Cyril Ramaphosa, on the occasion of a Women's Day, calls for the creation of jobs. By whom, dumbass? Government? You don't create jobs. You steal from the private sector and crush jobs. Calling for economic opportunities for women as surveys highlight the prevalence of gender-based violence. You mean rape? Is that what you mean? Assault? Rape of women? Girls? Is that what you're talking about, Cyril? Let's make it sound innocuous. Gender-based violence. Yes, men are victims of gender-based violence, but in a far smaller number than women and girls. The ANC, which has no interest whatsoever in protecting women, has the audacity on Women's Day to come out and talk about how they're going to fix things. Let's see. Cyril Ramaphosa became president in February of 2018, did he not? 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 6 years. What has happened with gender-based violence in South Africa? Has it been steady? No. Has it declined? No. It's skyrocketed. It has soared. The number of women who are victims of abuse, of rape, sexual assault, sexual harassment, groping, murder. Unbelievable. And this asshat of a president. President Ramaphosa mentioned the survey while delivering his Women's Day address at the Dennis Nell Stadium in Pofadder in the Northern Cape. You notice he only goes to the Northern Cape because people won't boo him there. The results of this groundbreaking survey will help guide a response to gender-based violence that measures issues like physical, sexual, emotional, economic abuse, as well as controlling behavior between intimate partners. Excuse me. You need a survey to figure out what the hell's going on in South Africa? You're a moron, Cyril Ramaphosa. People do not respect people in South Africa. And women are vulnerable. Therefore, they become victims. Stupid idiot. We need a survey. You don't need a survey. You need to raise children properly in two-parent families with hope and faith and morality. And then this garbage ends by and large. Not completely, but it'll always be there, but you reduce it to the minimum level. But instead, there is no morality in South Africa. There is no rule of law in South Africa. There is no responsibility in South Africa. Cyril Ramaphosa calls on men to take responsibility for their actions if there is to be an end to gender-based violence. And once again, I will say this, as I've always said, is Jax here today, because Jax deals with women and girls and boys who've been abducted and kidnapped and missing and bad things. So she has an NGO she works with. I've said this before. He's an idiot. Anybody that says that men are responsible for gender-based violence is a fool. Go ahead, call me on it. Anyone who claims that men are responsible for gender-based violence is a fool. Well, of course, there are men who are responsible. Men aren't responsible for it. All of society is responsible for it. Do you think men who rape women, who sexually assault women, who are abusive towards women, who beat their spouses and partners, do you think that they were raised by doorknobs? Were they raised by the veldt? Are there hyenas out there raising the babies, carrying them around, suckling them? No. All of these evil people who harm women are raised by mothers. Unfortunately, many of them are also not raised by fathers, or they have grandparents. Society is responsible for the scourge. In parts of Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, it is women who hold down 10, 11, and 12-year-old girls and slice off their labia and their clitoris, and then stitch up their vaginas so they suffer miserably and have no joy in intercourse. Women perpetuate that gender-based violence against girls, not men. Tunnies and grannies, gogos, they're the ones who do this. Everyone in society is responsible. The state, men, women, families. Stop this nonsense. The reason gender-based violence never ends is because of morality collapse and because no one takes responsibility for this issue. We are responsible for this issue. You and me. All of us. Not just men. I'm so sick of this nonsense. You will not fix this problem. It's like terrorism. Let's go kill them all. Well, you can kill all the terrorists you want, but you won't kill the underlying arguments they make to get support for their causes. The unfair economic situation. You must address everything holistically. Go, whack-a-mole, take out the terrorists so they can't harm people. But you must also address the underlying issues simultaneously. 16-year-old girl murdered Wednesday afternoon at Overberg High School. Teresa, I didn't hear about that. MK wants gender-based violence with their implementation of a new African law, believe it or not. Yeah, no, I've seen that icon. Yep, icon. Yep. I can't imagine how confused it must be in the U.S. on Women's Day with all the confused people over there. We don't have a Women's Day like that. We don't celebrate Women's Day today. That's a South African thing. LL Entertainment says men are responsible for the safety of the community. That's why it's up to them. Well, your statement may be true, but I don't agree with you. If children are not raised with proper morality to respect life, if children are not raised in a proper environment to respect their elders, if children are not raised in a proper environment to behave themselves, they become predators. They become abusive. Some of them, not all. So who raised them? So what are you saying? You're saying that it's okay for communities not to raise children properly, and then when they become adults, it's up to men to go beat them up and prevent them from attacking women? I mean, that's not what you're saying, LL, but I mean, that's how it comes across. Right. We're all responsible. We're all responsible. And Cyril Ramaphosa is an idiot. But guess what? The EFF is not letting go of Pala Pala. Manir Pala Pala. Pizza Pizza. Manir Pala Pala. The EFF is taking legal battle to the apex court, arguing that the ANC is blindly loyal to protect Ramaphosa. And ladies and gentlemen, it's very odd, but I've found myself now in agreement with the economic freedom fighters 3 or 4 times in the past few months when they've actually stated the obvious. The DA won't take them to the court. The UDM won't take them to the court. The Freedom Front Plus won't take them to the court. The Patriotic Alliance won't take them to court to get rid of Cyril Ramaphosa because they're all part of the Grand Coalition masquerading as the government of national unity. And I don't actually take fault with that, but it's nice to see the EFF stir the pot. By voting down a motion to adopt the Section 89 independent panel's report into the Pala Pala farm burglary, Parliament has effectively allowed Ramaphosa to continue to hold office in circumstances where he may not have been eligible to do so. Oh, no, he may not. No, I'm sorry. It's not a question of whether he might not be eligible. He isn't eligible. He's not eligible for office. There's an abuse of office. There's criminal acts involved here, and his fingerprints are all over it. Absolutely. Yep. The KZN government has put the kibosh on the Zulu King wasting 3 million rand of your money to go on a trip, taking 300 people to Malawi. Why does the Zulu King get taxpayer money, 79 million rand a year, and he wanted to spend 3 million to take a trip with 300 people? This is an out of control circumstance. If the Zulu people want a king, then the Zulu people can pay for it, not the taxpayer. Zulu King Mizuzulu Kwazweletini was a no-show at a festival where he was invited by the king of the Ngoni clan. Action SA says that behind-the-scenes discussions and the failure to finance a 3 million rand trip show the center is not holding in the IFP and the DA's government of national unity. What do you mean? Failure to finance it, shouldn't finance it. Things did not go as hoped for when Zulu Prime Minister and MEC Tulawasizi Buthelezi went cap in hand to the premier of the region. He asked IFP Premier Tommy Ntuli and Finance Minister Francois Rogers for the money, and they didn't get it. And Action SA has a problem with that? Action SA has a problem with taxpayer money not paying for 300 people to go on holiday to Malawi at your expense? I don't have a problem with that. I don't think they should be going there on holiday at your expense. If the king wants to go, take it out of his own pocket. Well, folks, this is a story run by the... what the hell? Something's not right here. By you. What is you? Sorry. Story written by Carla Kotsia. And this is about the Sandef officer who lost his life in the DRC in a hand grenade. And I'm starting to begin to wonder if this was an accidental thing or it was a frag. We don't have answers yet, long after his passing. Very interesting human interest story here. He deserved better. A Heidelberg widow seeks answers in a soldier's mysterious death in the DRC. Yep. Major Johan Tola Peterse's luggage and possessions did not return from the DRC a few weeks later. Yep. A 47-year-old soldier died in the DRC when an M26 hand grenade went off in his tent. And there's some of his belongings. There he is with his daughters, 16 and 18 years of age. What a tragedy. And this just brings home to light how politicians use us, soldiers, for their personal enrichment, their self-aggrandizement, their craven political power. Why are SANDF soldiers in the DRC? For what? Peace? There's no peace in the eastern DRC where they're at. Disaster relief? There's no disaster going on there, other than the human-made one. Why are SANDF soldiers losing their lives in the Central African Republic, in the DRC? For whose benefit? To what end? Why are American soldiers now sitting in the soil of Jordan, waiting for a war to erupt? Why are American sailors afloat in the Med with Marines whose life is soon to be in jeopardy? For politicians and their evil purposes. Well, Botswana's ban on fruit will probably violate some trade agreements. Well, I said that, SACU and SADC. And finally, News 24 wakes up to what I reported on yesterday. Botswana's ban on importing fresh produce from South Africa, including citrus and vegetables, may breach both regional and international trade agreements. Exactly. World Trade Organization, SACU, and that's what I said yesterday. Yep. Agriculture experts have warned Botswana's blanket ban could violate trade regulations from the Southern African Customs Union as well as the World Trade Organization. That's what I said yesterday. Yep. This initiative aims to enhance our self-sufficiency. Well, that's nonsense, Masisi. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Wow. They can't do that. They just can't blanket ban it. Masisi's government is out of control. Toboho upstages Noah Lyles in the men's 200 in an exciting victory here. Botswana gets their second ever gold medal and just their third medal ever. It all started with Nigel Amos in the 1500 coming in second with a silver. Botswana's Letsile Toboho became the first African to win the Olympic 200 meters as he and COVID upstaged Noah Lyles' plans for a sprint double in Paris. The 21-year-old was able to ease up at the end and still clocked an African record of 19.46 seconds, with American Kenny Bednarek second and Lyles coming in at bronze. But Lyles, it turns out, had COVID, and he's now recuperating. Botswana, the stingy Eric Masisi has declared a whole half-day holiday. You tight ass. The president of Botswana declared Friday afternoon a public holiday to celebrate Toboho taking the gold medal. Okay, see, this is lazy journalism by Helen Reid. She says taking the country's first Olympic gold medal. That's not true. This is Botswana's second Olympic gold medal. No, I'm sorry. No, wait, I'm correct. Nigel Amos got silver. No, it is their first gold medal. She's correct. My bad. I'm the lazy journalist. I misspoke. Senior moment. She's correct. It is their first gold medal. Congratulations to Botswana. Oh, come on. Too many news stories. Got it jammed in my head. But the men will be participating in 4x4 a little bit later on. Yeah. So the men's 200-meter king, Letsile Toboho, went to bed at 4 a.m. and they woke him up 2 hours later and he's got to run the relay today. He said, it wasn't easy recovering from the final because I slept at around 4 a.m. and at 6 a.m. they woke me up. He said, we're going for the 4x4 today, so you can come with us. I told him, let me nap an hour. And then he went to the shower. When he finished, he woke me up again. I just told myself, I think I'll just wake up and go. So let's see. He ran a great first leg, but the final's coming up, and let's see if Botswana can pull it off. Maybe he can get a nap in between. But Botswana's 4x4 100 relay team today. Lesotho threatens to use the military to control gangs. Things are out of control in the mountain kingdom of the Basotho. Prime Minister Sam Matekane wants military deployments in communities. Major General Matela Matobakele warned judges against giving light sentences to gang members. Ooh, things are turning crazy in Lesotho. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. The mountain kingdom of Lesotho. What's going on there? Palestinian deaths in Israeli custody are raising questions. What is going on for those detained in Israeli custody? A prominent figure in elite Palestinian circles who had trained in London posted videos from darkened hospital rooms praising colleagues who worked without electricity. Anyway, that's not what the story is. So, Israeli soldiers raided a hospital where he was working, detained Bursch, his wife, and 6 children, waited for news until May when Palestinian authorities said Israeli officials had informed them that he had died in prison. No explanation as to how it happened. That is not acceptable. The Israelis cannot do that. They need to get their act together. Israeli troops launch a new assault on Khan Yunis as mediators continue to push for a ceasefire. Israeli evacuation orders triggered yet another exodus of Palestinians from the heavily destroyed eastern districts of Khan Yunis, where many had just returned less than 2 weeks ago. Vietnam is accelerating their artificial island building in competition with the Chicoms. This is ecologically disastrous for coral atolls in the South China Sea. As tensions mount in the South China Sea, Vietnam is dredging and filling in land, fortifying barriers, and erecting new structures to create hundreds of acres. And as we slide down here, 4 years ago, this was a deserted, undeveloped atoll in the Pacific. Now, the reef has become Vietnam's biggest military outpost in the South China Sea. Look at that. And for a map, look at all these spots in the Spratlys, in the South China Sea. These are all reefs occupied by Vietnam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major ones, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 minor ones. This is out of control, folks. This is what happens when you have anarchy. That is when you have anarchy. In Spain, the leader of the Catalan separatist movement slipped into Spain and slipped out, and they didn't catch him. Catalan leader Puigdemont evaded arrest, fled Spain. An official with the separatist party said he was returning to Belgium, where he's been since 2017. Wow. He disappeared, evading arrest, and sparked a fugitive hunt. The Spanish couldn't catch him. Catch me if you can. Oh, my goodness. Jacques Louis, France's oldest known surviving D-Day soldier who landed with American troops on the beaches of Normandy, has passed away at the age of 105. Believed to be the last surviving Frenchman to wade ashore with Americans, he was attached to an army unit that stormed Utah Beach and helped drive Germans out of France. Jacques Louis, his death in a hospital and care center at the Invalides military complex was announced in a statement by the office of President Emmanuel Macron. On June 8th, less than 2 months before he passed away, he insisted his caregivers that he be taken in a wheelchair to greet President Biden and President Macron at the ceremony at the Arc de Triomphe, commemorating the 80th anniversary of D-Day. He was a member of the French Free Forces that de Gaulle had raised in exile. He was fluent in English, and so he was assigned as a liaison officer to the United States Army's 70th Tank Battalion as D-Day landings approached. Yep, there you go. So, God bless and thank you for your service to the world. A third suspect has been arrested in the Taylor Swift terrorist plot. Austrian police are investigating this. An 18-year-old Iraqi has become the third person to be arrested by Austrian police. And my question is, why is an 18-year-old Iraqi in Österreich? Why is an 18-year-old Iraqi in Österreich? That's the question here. A third teenager has been arrested in connection with a plot to attack one of Taylor Swift's concerts in Vienna, Austrian Interior Minister Gerhard Kahne said. He had been in contact with the main perpetrator, but is not directly connected to the attacks. But as it was found out a few days later, he took an oath of allegiance to the Islamic State. So, imprison him or deport him. 19-year-old man was arrested with chemical substances found in his house in Ternitz, 32 kilometers south of Vienna. Wow. The attack was planned for Thursday or Friday night. An estimated 170,000 fans were expected to have attended all the concerts. Wow. Of course, remember 2017, the scumbag Islamic fanatist suicide bomber Salman Abdi detonated a device in the foyer in Manchester at an Ariana Grande concert, killing 22 people. Barracuda Music said they had no option but to cancel the concerts. Now that they've caught these bastards, they can reschedule them. Maduro, turning our attention to this hemisphere, has arrested 2,200 people since his election. Can you say fascism? Can you say Democrats? Can you say Macron? Can you say Keir Starmer? Well, there you go. Wow. What we're facing is a witch hunt, Maria Oropeza, an opposition organizer, said on X. Less than 2 hours later, she shared another video, an Instagram live stream showing agents of the state breaking into her home. In the video, recorded from the top of a dark stairwell, she can be heard demanding that they show her a search warrant and calling for help. I'm not a criminal. I'm just another citizen who wants to change his country. They walked up the stairs, and the video goes dark, and she has not been seen or heard from since. Wow. Wow. Breaking the lock off of her door. This is what is happening in America. This is what is happening in Britain. This is what has happened in Australia in the past. This is what's happening. Freedom-loving patriots who've committed no crimes being arrested, detained, stuck in dark holes, and then disappearing and dying. People should not be silent. You should stand up for right, moral, and just on every occasion. This is horrific. Maria Oropeza has disappeared in Maduro's Venezuela. And the Biden regime is sleeping at the wheel once again. 7 million Venezuelans have fled this fascist state. Wow. Unbelievable, folks. Horrific. Noah Lyles, who won the men's 100 meter in dramatic fashion, competed in the 200 meter only to lose to Lesetsi Lebojo. But it turns out he had Rona. Lyles said he started feeling ill 2 days ago and knew it was more than just soreness from winning the 100. In Paris, there are no testing requirements, and national governing bodies develop their own protocols. Here he is after finishing the men's 200. He collapsed. In the interest of full disclosure, Noah Lyles also has asthma, and so he really gave it his all, and he's very proud of the bronze he got. And I think he should be. Pretty impressive. Well, the news is still trying to perpetuate the story of Rona. New York Times running on this story, trying to frighten us again with their fairy tales. About 400 million people worldwide apparently have long Rona, according to researchers. The conditions put significant strain on patients and society at a global economic cost of about $1 trillion a year, according to the leftist commentators on the New York Times. They haven't let go of the Rona. They're going to hold on to it forever and try to use it to imprison us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the saga of the attempted murder of Donald Trump continues to become more bizarre and more outrageous as local police officers' body cam video has finally been released from the cop who tried to climb up on the roof when the guy pointed a weapon at him. It is shocking to say how lax and how lackadaisical and how useless the Secret Service actually is protecting protectees. Local police complained about Secret Service after Trump rally shooting. Videos show. Shortly after Thomas Matthew Crooks opened fire at a rally of former President Trump, a local police officer in Pennsylvania complained to a colleague that he had warned the Secret Service in advance about the need to secure the area that the gunman used. I effing told them they need to post those effing guys over there. I told them effing Tuesday, the officer can be heard telling a colleague. The video, one of 12 provided the Washington Post in response to records request, shows the confusion and frustration among law enforcement in the aftermath of the shooting, underscoring a key question at the core of the multiple investigations in the Secret Service, most serious security failure in decades. Why didn't anyone secure the roof of the building so close to the rally site? Why weren't we on the roof? An officer in one of the videos asked. Another officer responds, the Secret Service guys, they were like, yeah, no problem. We're going to post guys over there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to uncover the grassy knoll story here. It now appears circumstantially that the evidence is implying or indicating that the Secret Service intentionally left Donald Trump vulnerable to be executed. What other conclusion can you draw from this? This is beyond willful negligence. This is beyond incompetence. This was intentional that no one was on that roof. Local law enforcement coordinated with the Secret Service and said someone needs to go on the roof, offered to put someone on there, and the Secret Service says, we'll put someone on the roof. And then they failed to do it. That's not a mistake. That's willful negligence. That's an intentional effort to make the president vulnerable. Will we discover someday, or will conspiracy theorists who have been making claims that, the government's in on this be able to prove this? I don't know. But there should be people in prison for this negligence. And Kimberly Cheeto, I call her Cheeto. Kimberly Cheeto, she should be brought up on charges for dereliction of duty. And there needs to be an independent investigation, not in this corrupt government of Joe Biden, investigating the FBI, investigating the Secret Service, investigating the Department of Homeland Security, and investigating the Biden regime for their role in failing to protect the President of the United States. You heard it here. Wow. Well, and it's right in our own government. Rashida Tlaib, the scumbag, ingrate, offspring, evil spawn of Palestinians who we gave succor to and allowed to attend our universities at our expense and to stay here. and they birthed this evil spawn, Rashid Tlaib, is now circulating a fraudulent poll, a member of Congress. And these are the people that want government to stop disinformation and misinformation. She is a misinformation merchant, Rashida Tlaib, and we have the evidence of it. U.S. Representative Rashida Tlaib, Demon Rat from Michigan, reposted a doctored poll showing 47% of Israelis believe that soldiers should be allowed to rape Palestinians. That was never a poll question, and 47% of Israelis do not believe that. This is a lie by bigots, anti-Semite, Arab scumbag people like Rashida Tlaib. The great irony here is that the Palestinian terrorist group Hamas has a history of weaponizing rape as part of its campaign of terror against the Jewish state. The Democratic lawmaker would scramble to delete the post when it was revealed that the authentic poll question, which is in Hebrew, asked if respondents thought the government had surrendered to terrorist supporters. The original post was from Noura Ekarat, a Palestinian-American activist who, not surprisingly, is an associate professor at Rutgers. Ekarat rushed to defend Tlaib, posting on X, Rashida Tlaib trusted me in posting this without cross-checking was my mistake, but surely you understand how one could take this poll to be true in light of the video of a gang rape of a Palestinian detainee and Knesset and public debate on whether such rape should be okay. Well, that's not true. Tlaib has a history of anti-Semitic actions, is known for sharing pro-Hamas talking points that have had little basis in facts. It's utterly unacceptable that Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib would spread false inflammatory stories about Israel, said the Anti-Defamation League spokesman for the Washington Examiner. Though Tlaib subsequently deleted her post sharing this photoshopped image of a poll, the damage had already been done. Lies and misinformation spread like wildfire on social media. Members of Congress shouldn't be promoting false and damaging disinformation. This is why government should not be able to stop disinformation. Rashida Tlaib is a misinformation merchant. She is a liar. She's an anti-Semite Jew hater, and she must be exposed for that, along with all her colleagues in the diminishing squad. By the way, Ilhan Omar is up for re-election, and the poll is coming soon. And guess what? Minnesota has an open primary. I don't encourage Republicans to interfere in Democratic primaries, but I know that Republicans in Minnesota are going to go vote for her opponent to stop her from getting back to Congress. Wouldn't that be so sweet to see Ilhan Omar out, along with Sparky the fire dog Jamal Bowman and Corey the race hustler Bush. Wow. Hurricane Debbie is making its impact. I can see it outside of my yard as the floodwaters went around my property through the swale and into the storm drain. Woo, it's still raining outside, folks. The remnants of former Hurricane Debbie are poised to race through the Northeast on Friday, bringing flooding rains, the potential for tornadoes. Highest risk of excessive rainfall and flooding stretches from central Pennsylvania through northern New York. From central Pennsylvania, New York City. Yeah, no, right here is central Pennsylvania, folks. We have got dumped on. It's like God took a piss on us. Well, let's get ready to rumble. Here, I got to do this. Let's do the microphone like this. Got to lift it up. Rumble. Donald Trump agrees to a debate on September 10th with Kamala Harris. Get the popcorn ready. I'll be covering that one. Showdown is set. Trump and Harris plan to debate in September. Wow. On ABC. Well, that won't be fair. She said she's looking forward to debating Donald Trump, and we have a date September 10th. I hear he's finally committed to it. I'm looking forward. Donald Trump is finally committed to it. Listen, dunderhead, you have not even talked to the press in 16 or 17 days until yesterday, and you're saying Trump didn't agree to it? Knock it off. Well, here is the Wall Street Journal being disingenuous, and let me explain this story very quickly so you understand it. Donald Trump made a comment about the independence of the Federal Reserve and saying that the president should have some say in it. Now, let me tell you the reality. Legally, they don't. But effectively, every single president since Bush has influenced and directed interest rates by the Federal Reserve. Every single one of them. The people they appoint to be chairman are in their pocket. Alan Greenspan. What's her name now? The Yoda. Can't think of her name right now. They're all political appointees. And they all respond to the president. So what Trump said is not a big deal, but they're making a big deal of it, saying, the independence of the Fed. Well, the Fed needs to be reeled in. They're the ones burying us in debt with their quantitative easing. Trump's plans stir fears for Fed independence and inflation. In Donald Trump's first term, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell insisted his demands to lower rates, but if reelected, Trump could replace him in 2026. Yeah, that's one of the few times that the Federal Reserve actually listened to themselves and not to the president. But all the others, going back to Reagan, actually, you go back there, Paul Volcker, they all listen to the president. A third person has come down and died from listeria outbreak tied to Boar's Head deli meats. 3 people now have died in listeria food poisoning outbreak linked to Boar's Head deli meats. Additional death happened in Virginia, according to the Centers for Disease Control. 9 more cases reported since July 31st outbreak. Boar's Head has recalled 7 million pounds of deli meats on July 30th. Wow. More than 70 products, including liverwurst, ham, beef, salami, and bologna, made at the company's plant in Virginia. We have 2 lawsuits over the outbreak already, one in Missouri and the other is a class action suit in New York. The meat was distributed to stores nationwide as well as to the Cayman Islands, Dominican Republic, Mexico, and Panama. CDC estimates that as many as 1,600 people per year get listeria in the United States. It's the hazard of factory meat. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the wars of George Bush, the actions of Black Lives Matter, the denigration of military and veterans by the leftists in the media, the effort to marginalize veterans who served this country with honor, the garbage of stolen valor veterans like Tim Walz has led to most Americans recommending to their family members that they do not join the military. This is a tragedy of epic proportions for America, the most trusted institution in our society, and most people in society don't want to join it. Majority of Americans would not advise family members to join the military. Only 37% of respondents would encourage their family to serve in the military, while 63% would not. Of those who would not encourage their family members to join the military, 57% of them said they felt that it was way too dangerous, and 45% cited the failed wars in Iraq and Afghanistan as a reason not to join. Wow. Unbelievable. They're destroying our military. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Governor Tim Walz, stolen valor Tim Walz from Minnesota, Kamala Harris's vice president pick. He hosted a Muslim cleric who celebrated the October 7th terrorist attacks and is an outspoken pro-Hitler. Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz, on at least 5 occasions as governor of Minnesota, hosted a Muslim cleric who celebrated Hamas's October 7th attack and promoted a film popular among neo-Nazis that glorifies Adolf Hitler. The Imam Assad Zaman of the Muslim American Society of Minnesota joined other Muslim leaders in May 2023 for a meeting about mosque security with Walz's gubernatorial office in Minnesota. He spoke at a 2020 May rally, and April 19 delivered an invocation before Walz's state address. Yeah. So Tim Walz associates with anti-Semite, Jew haters, and Nazis. Could you be any more clear? Could you be any more clear? Wow. Tim Walz. Boy, this guy's going to be the anchor on that campaign. While other governors around the country have been trying to lower state income taxes, Tim Walz in Minnesota raised them. Yep, Walz socked Minnesotans with a slew of tax hikes. Look at that goofy face. Isn't that just weird? Look at him. He looks like a cartoon character there, doesn't he? Looks like Don Rickles. During Tim Walz's tenure as Minnesota governor, he's approved more than $10 billion in tax hikes, imposing taxes on everything from retail deliveries to workers' earnings, overseeing one of the most dramatic shifts towards higher taxes in the country. Wow. And that's led to an anemic economy in Minnesota, which has lagged behind the rest of the nation in economic growth. Weekly wages in Minnesota rank among the lowest in the country, and population growth has stalled as high-income households have fled the state. The tax and spend spree makes Mr. Walz an outlier at a time when governors of both parties are slashing taxes. Despite coming into office in 2019 with a $17.6 billion budget surplus, he hit Minnesotans with a series of tax increases. The surplus is gone now. He wasted it. He also hit them with a 0.7 payroll tax on employers, half of which gets passed on to the employee. A 50% tax on all retail deliveries, over $100 except for food. An increase in motor vehicle sales tax, raising it from 6.875 from 6.5, among the highest in the country. A 1% sales tax in 7 counties, just corporate taxes, limited tax deductions to families' incomes over $220,000. And these are just a sliver of. He increased a 10 cent per gallon tax on gasoline, and proposed income tax for millionaires to raise it to 10.85%. Wow, this guy is just unbelievable. And this is who they picked? This is who they want to run this country? Well, the Washington Post runs a story assessing Tim Walz's military service. Well, Republicans are attacking him for stolen valor. Well, with good reason. with Greece. That for 24 years, I proudly wore the uniform of this nation. The National Guard gave me purpose. Yeah, it gave you cover, too. Yeah, abandonment of his troops. So they're fact-checking. Oh, my goodness. They're fact-checking. Oh, my goodness. Look at that long timeline of all these things. So let's see what the assessments are here on the fact-checking. All right, fact-check on that one. Where's the assessment? Anyway, look, I'm not going to go into it. This guy is a fraud. He's a disgrace. Well, a lot of the negativity you're seeing about Donald Trump is coming. Remember, the Democrats were so concerned about foreign influence because Hillary and the Macedonian server farms. Macedonian server farms. Look, if it was a Benelux server farm, I could believe that. If it was a Finnish server farm, I could believe that. An Estonian server farm, maybe even a Thai server farm, but Macedonian server farms. Oh my goodness. Well, the Democrats don't seem to be concerned about foreign influence of elections now, while TikTok foreign influencers are flooding anti-Trump stuff. It's unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. Wall Street Journal reports that foreign TikTok networks are pushing political lies to Americans. A flood of anti-Trump videos generated with the help of artificial intelligence are traced back to a web of overseas accounts. Intelligence officials warned the 2024 election could face unprecedented flood of fake news fueled by artificial intelligence from foreign actors. An analysis of videos on TikTok has found it's already happening. Amid all the general political news and lighthearted elections memes, the journal found thousands of videos with political lies and hyperbole. Further analysis led to the journal to identify 91 accounts that pushed these videos from China, Nigeria, Iran, and Vietnam. Wow. Anyone with $5 on a credit card can do this crap. Yep. So here, breaking news, Melania has finally filed for divorce from Trump. Untrue. A lot of y'all are getting taken in by this stuff. The bots viewed more than 60,000 videos. Many of them featured general political commentary. TikTok served more than 6,000 videos that mentioned Trump in their description to the bots. Unbelievable, folks. Election interference, and no comment from the demon rats who are so concerned about election interference from foreign actors. It's actually happening, and the victim is Donald Trump, and so they're silent on this. The FBI let the person who was involved in the plot to assassinate Donald Trump from Iran into the country. They just let him in the country, even though he's on a terrorist watch list. He was on a terror watch list, and they let him in the country. Meanwhile, Tulsi Gabbard, a former member of Congress, a military veteran, gets strip searched at airports because her boarding pass is labeled SSSS, which has now been broken out. It was a hidden code by Department of Homeland Security to harass Americans. Yep. The FBI let the suspect in the plot to kill Trump into the U.S. on parole despite terror ties. The FBI allowed Asif Raza Marchant, the Pakistani man charged with plotting the Tehran to assassinate Trump, and others to enter the U.S. in April with special permission known as significant public benefit parole. This is a scumbag Biden action. Even though he was flagged on a terrorism watch list and recently traveled to Iran. Excuse me. I have to take a polygraph to keep my clearance and talk about everything in my life. They look at every one of my financial transactions. Everyone. They look at my social media post in order for me to maintain a clearance. And this terrorist who just visited Iran and is on the terrorism watch list was given parole in the country. Is the Biden regime attempting to murder Donald Trump? What other conclusion could you have here? How incompetent and stupid could they be? Listen to this. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force interviewed him, fingerprinted him, and inspected the contents of his electronic devices when he arrived at George Bush International Airport in Houston. But then they let him leave with a special parole that expired on May 11th. The subject was polite and cooperative throughout the encounter. The subject's notable travel outside the country of citizenship includes a recent trip to Iran. You didn't detain him? He's on a terror watch list and he went to Iran? Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to arrest me for going to Iceland? Oh, the colonel went to Iceland. What was he plotting there? Seriously? Is the Biden regime attempting to murder Donald Trump? Ask yourself this question. He was not arrested until July 12th, the day before the assassination attempt on Trump. but only after a confidential human source ascertained that he tried to line up assassins was planning to leave. So they let him in the country with special parole. He's on a terror watch list. He just came from Iran. And only after an informant tells him, hey, this guy is getting assassins to kill Trump, only then do they arrest him. Unbelievable. Now, of course, the Federal Bureau of Incompetence has declined to comment about the documents obtained by Just the News, but the Joint Terrorism Task Force interview summary and immigration records give some rich detail about what the Bureau knew before it allowed him into the country. Wow. Immigration records from his arrival to Houston on April 13th clearly stated in bright red, make no mistake, in red, just like this, bright red, that he was flagged by the Department of Homeland Security database with the identifier watch list and denoted as a lookout qualified person of interest. Despite travel to a country with a known terrorist activity, the memo relays that Merchant was released without incident, free to travel to his desired location, which is listed as a family member. Why do we have terrorist family members living in Houston? Wow. They're trying to murder Donald Trump. What other conclusion can you reach? Are we this incompetent? Have we been so numbed by technology that we can't even do basic things like interact with other human beings and read red letters? Terrorist! 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 Meanwhile, Catholics are being arrested as domestic terrorists because they don't like abortion. Conservatives being arrested as insurrectionists because they post things on Facebook or Twitter. Unbelievable. Well, now to a more mundane topic for U.S. consumers, and maybe UK and Mexico and Canada, where you find these. Costco has had enough of non-members taking advantage of them, getting goods at cost. And I'm tired of it too. We pay. You want to go to Costco? Pay your membership fee, you tight asses. Costco began implementing membership scanners to clamp down on non-member access. Costco Canada is cracking down on non-members sneaking into its stores. The warehouse to retail giant has announced the installation of membership scanners at the entrance door to each of its locations over the coming months. Yep, flashing a membership card to staff will no longer be enough to gain entry. Customers will be required to scan the barcode on either their physical membership card or a QR code on their digital Costco ID to gain admittance. Yep, taking measures to prevent the fraudulent use of membership cards. Yep, thankfully, because Costco sells goods basically at cost and makes money off memberships. So people who are not members are stealing from the rest of us who are members of Costco. I barely go to Costco, but I pay my annual fee. It's too far away. It's 50 kilometers, unfortunately, from here. So, yeah, but I do go to Costco's when I travel. Well, open primaries in District 5 in Minneapolis. Yes, Ilhan Omar. Is she going to be knocked out? She barely won by 2% in her primary last time. Ooh, look at this. I like that cartoon. Allah Akbar. Allahu Akbar. I pledge allegiance to Somalia as she stands in our Constitution. Republicans can vote across party lines to elect opponents like Don Samuels. Well, let's see what happens. A Democrat in California in the state legislature, a senator, has switched to the GOP. Republican State Senator Marie Alvarado Gil suggested she was dismayed by the state's Democratic supermajority. Since I've served in our state's capital, I've had a front row seat to witness the supermajority push California in the wrong direction, having a grave effect on our once golden state. I cannot stand by a party that ignores the will of the people and disregards the core American values that my very community supports and believes in. It was the right thing to do. I've been a Democrat my whole life. The Democratic Party of today is not the Democratic Party that I signed up to as a new voter. The pendulum has swung so far to the left that it's disengaged from what true Californians value. She took office in 2022 and has been in office for 2 years before changing her affiliation. Before that, she was known as a centrist Democrat who supported Israel but engaged in pro-LGBTQ and abortion rights causes. She was the only state Senate Democrat to vote against investigating and possibly capping oil profits. Wow. Well, the Democrats lose another one. Delta's top diversity and equity inclusion officer says they're going to change how they do announcements at gates. They're not going to say, ladies and gentlemen. Delta Airlines, facing a slew of lawsuits over its incompetence and the CloudStrike issue, are wasting time with DEI. According to Delta's Chief Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Social Impact Officer, Kira Lynn Johnson, we're beginning to take a hard look at things like our gatehouse announcements. You know, we welcome ladies and gentlemen. And we've asked ourselves, is that as gender inclusive as we want to be? Johnson said at the time while participating in a panel with other DEI insiders, according to Fox Business. You know, we're looking at some legacy language that exists in some of our employee manuals and getting to the root of the way some things are described and saying, does that actually send a message of diverse inclusivity? Use of gender-neutral language and pronouns. Do not use language that suggests a gender binary, male-female. Can you read this, Miss Johnson? Read between the lines. Unbelievable. Oh, Camping World Chief Executive Officer tells a California county to footsack, piss off. Had a big American flag as they fly at all their 250 locations around America. Big American flag outside Camping World. And these scumbag anti-American leftist lunatics came up with all kinds of excuses. Recreational vehicle retailer Camping World is telling California to go pound sand. The company known for its proud display of Old Glory at over 250 locations across the country. And the only place that there has been an issue is in San Joaquin County, where Camping World was told the flag must come down because they don't have a permit. San Joaquin County, California can get stuffed. Well done, Camping World. True patriots. Well, Willie Brown is saying that he doesn't know Donald Trump. Donald Trump just talked about Willie Brown. And he says, I don't know Donald Trump, man. What are you talking about, man? No, Donald Trump, me, no. I didn't fly no helicopter with Donald Trump. Only Willie's lying. Willie's lying. Slick Willie Brown from San Francisco. Former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown claims he's never done business with Donald Trump, but the evidence suggests otherwise. Well, that's because Trump mentioned it. He said, I know Willie very well. And he said things about comma that were entertaining. But Brown disputed the claim that he trash-talked Harris. He said, I cannot envision thinking of Kamala Harris in any negative ways. She's a good friend. She's a beautiful woman. Beautiful? I don't think so. Anyway, so the New York Times, the time that Trump nearly died in a helicopter crash didn't happen. So this is what the mainstream media are lying about Donald Trump. New York Times, the time that Donald Trump nearly died in a helicopter crash didn't happen. Well, that's a lie. It did happen. CNN says Trump said he went down a helicopter emergency landing with former mayor who says it never happened. The Independent. Trump claims Willie Brown told him terrible things about Harris on a near-fatal helicopter ride. He says every part of the story is fiction. Willie Brown does. Huffington Post. Trump says he thought the end was near in a helicopter emergency that Dems say didn't happen. San Francisco Chronicle. Trump says he went down a helicopter. Willie Brown, former mayor, says it never happened. But critics have uncovered evidence of Trump and Willie Brown together, despite his claims that he doesn't know Donald Trump. Case in point, here's a photograph from 1997 at a poker table. And there's Slick Willie Brown sitting right there with the Don in 1997. Oh, Trump's got a Pepsi-Cola. And look at Willie drinking a Budweiser. Willie Brown's lying about the helicopter. My goodness. What do you know? It's a Democrat. What do you expect? Anything other than a lie. Oh, 90 people here currently. Here, 89 likes. Hit the like button, folks. Doesn't cost you anything but a moment of your time.
That was easy.
Let me get back to the chat. And I'd like to buy the world a drink. I'd like to buy the world Coke and keep it company. It's a real thing. I'm loving it. Oh, that's McDonald's. Sorry. All right. Let me get back to some of the chat here that you guys have put into it and see what you got to say here. Where are the timestamps? That's very irritating. Why does this default to timestamps? I don't know why I don't do that. All right. To follow, you need an account. Would not let me follow until I create an account. Okay, Lane. Well, thank you for creating an account. What's the app? Your screenshot. Okay, I've already been to the other stuff. Okay. Kick link opens but requires an account. I was already there. Beautiful day. I was there. Icano says, as of 24, I've not seen any slum in Botswana. When Ian Kama go back, actually. There is a slum. Okay, let me just pull up Google Earth and show you where it's at. Maps.google. Let's go to Gaborone. Okay, I got to zoom out from Pennsylvania. Zooming out, zooming out. Zooming out, zooming out. Over to Botswana. That's a long way across the Atlantic. It's going to take me 17 hours to get there. Oh, I did it in about 30 seconds. Botswana, Gaborone, Gaborone. Gaborone, Gaborone. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Icona, if you're still there, we're gonna. Whoops, that's not what I want. I gotta show you screen. There you go. There's Gaborone. Okay, and there's the Game City shopping mall, and there's the reservoir. Gale Hill is right there. Okay, there's the Gaborone Dam, which is the source of water for this town. And as we zoom in, the slum is right there. Old Naledi, Old Naledi, and on this side is where the slum is. on the other side of Madalake. So over here. So we're going to zoom in and see what photographs show. There you go. Informal settlements in here. Okay. Let's take a look at this in photos. There's your slum right there, buddy. Right there. See that? That's a slum. Right there. Yep. Here's proper housing over here, opposite Game City in Phase 4. This is proper housing in Phase 4. Look at that. See that? See those houses? See that? That's Phase 4. That's proper neighborhood. That's a planned neighborhood. This is a slum neighborhood that developed and the roads got cut into it. Old na lady. See that? Very different than the rest of, look at this proper neighborhood over here. Developed in arcs. These are all developed neighborhoods. That one is not a proper neighborhood. That is a slum in Habarani. Facts, not fiction on this program. Facts, not fiction. Okay, Ruvani Friday says it's called Miss South Africa, not Miss World or Miss Nigeria. Murray McGregor, welcome to you. It's been a while, buddy. Chris, how much sailing boats cost in the USA? I want a foot sec here. A sailboat. Well, it depends. They come in all different sizes. You can get boats for tens of thousands and for millions of dollars. Rama says the same crap all the time. Okay. I was already here. I missed some of that. Men response safety. I was there. Okay. Okay. If the next election there will be MKFF ANC coalition, we need to hold referendum. Yeah, I think you do. And LL says Western Cape is going nowhere. I think you're probably right. Don't like Herman. I saw him sharing a BBC documentary commending it. It was based on... Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, Herman has lost the plot. People are scared for Cape Independence. They know if it happens, it will prosper. Yep. Miss South Africa's situation could have been handled a different way, but if the facts forthcoming from Home Affairs are true, her citizenship is indeed linked to fraudulent immigration practices by her mother, then there's a case of question her status. That is true. Absolutely. But the xenophobia never should have happened. And there should be a legal case against her. Never should have happened. This is ridiculous. If on a national level, the ANC and FFM... Okay, I already said that. Jacob Zuma wants to be the president for life. Not going to happen. Looking at the South, the birth registration, and there's a case to be answered. Yes, there is a case for mother to answer. You're correct. Oh, and you're saying that Tendai Mtara Warrior the Beast was given a special dispensation to play for the Bucks as he held permanent residence at the time. And, well, she has permanent residence, so why can't she be Miss South Africa? Ooh! See how I turned it back on you? See how I turned that around? You what? Yeah, the Beast was able to play because he had permanent residence. Well, CJ Stander has permanent residence. That's why I played for Ireland. And Pierre Schoolman, they got permanent residence. But she's lived nowhere but South Africa, where she was born. So if Tendai Mtara can play for the Springboks, not a South African, she was born in South Africa. Legally, might be saying she's not South African, but she could be able to miss South Africa. If we can have immigrants serving in our armed forces and competing in our competitions, why can't you? And if we don't do it, we're racist. Yep. Okay, what else? Yes, ANC, MK, and EFF are nasty parties. Yep. There's a new EFF MP as well. They put Carl out. They sent Carl out to pasture. Guess the other gold medal was from Botswana, ain't African. No, I think I misspoke earlier. It is one. It's their third medal. They've got a silver, a gold, and a bronze. Botswana in history. The only reason they become MPs is money. Exactly. Acts of evil parties are being funded by Russian oligarchs. Most have Israeli nationality as well. I don't know who you're talking about. Pray this goes to the very top, not just that. Well, it's not that CIA is not involved in this. No, it's the Biden regime. Johannes Opperman, another not just finished Brian and wife wants. Gordon Ramsay doesn't know stress until he's feeding my crew. I'm sorry to hear that, Johannes. It's funny. Oh, my goodness. As a teacher, all stakeholders are responsible for protecting children. Exactly, Allison. We're all responsible for protecting women and children, not just men. This should be good. Get the popcorn ready. Yeah, you mean for the debate? It should be. Mark says, Mark Sayers, I think Iran might be waiting for the Olympics to finish in order to get most media coverage before attacking. That's actually a fair assessment there. The world is focused on the Olympics, and it's not something that But Iran has shown a lot of restraint, and I think it's possible they'll show the restraint. I mean, if they bomb Israeli cities, Tehran will be glass, and they know that. And they can't stop them. The Israelis can stop a lot of the missiles, but they can't stop all of them. But Iran can't stop any of the missiles. It looks like the Democrats will be shooting themselves in the foot. Why is there always this big hype in the U.S. about civil war, but there's been no suffering in major events, influence people to be down and out, asking the president? There is no big hype. I have no big hype. I get asked this question all the time. Is there a civil war pending? And everyone wants to say it. If Trump loses, it'll be a civil war. No, I don't see a civil war on the horizon here. I see riots. I see unrest. I don't see civil war. That's highly unlikely. Who's going to organize a civil war? I mean, Texas talked about secession a couple years ago, but it was nonsense by a couple members of the state legislature. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi says you should go to USA every 6 months for 10 years. Every single flight I got SSSS on my boarding pass. Apparently, this is a random security check. I must have been super lucky. It's not random. It's not random. Tulsi Gabbard, every flight she's taken until now, past 4 flights in a row, she got it. That's not random. That's like me. When I was at the National Security Agency, almost every month I got a urinalysis. And there's a reason for that. Not because I do drugs. Not at all. But because I was one of just 34 officers that were in a unit that was not in that battalion, but they were responsible for it. So rather than include us with everyone else assigned to the battalion administratively like they should have done, they had us in a separate group. Well, a certain percentage of that group has got to be tested every month on command direct urinalysis. That's just the military's drug testing program. With only 34 people and 8 of them being flag officers who weren't being tested every month, that meant there were just 20-some. So almost every month I got tested. It was insane. And Tulsi Gabbard should never have an SSSS on her boarding pass. She's a trusted traveler. She's a member of the military. She should never have it on there. As a member of the military with an active duty ID card, this isn't my active duty ID card now. This is my current ID card as a civilian. But as an active duty military ID card, you're automatically in the trusted traveler program. Automatically, unless the military directs you to be taken out of it because you had judicial action against you. So she should not be getting a triple or quadruple S on her card. And that's outrageous. It caused people to miss flights. It's actually ridiculous. Yep. So I'm sorry that you got the quad S, Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi. That should not have happened. There must be something in their database. It's not random. You are another example how it's not random. Yep. Hendo showed up. Good to see that. The birds and the bees, says Elsa. Camping World is a huge NASCAR sponsor. NASCAR. Donald Trump must be a great man. He's upsetting the whole world. I think you're right about that. He really is pissing the whole world off. Okay, where are we at? My chat went ahead again. Here we are. African idiot. I'm sidestepping those mental. Okay, Hendo's talking African idiot. With Ukraine crossing into Russia, is it probable Russia asks South Africa to join Russia in the war? No. What's South Africa going to do? They can't even protect their own soldiers in the Congo, let alone send troops to the UK. They have no way to get there. What are you going to do? You're going to send Aeroflot flights to South Africa to pick up SANDF soldiers to fly them to Russia? Not going to happen. South Africa can't self-deploy anywhere. They have to rely on Ukrainian pilots to fly them from Langebaan to frickin' DRC. Will you cover the Namibian elections and actually also the Botswana elections? Yeah, I do plan to cover both. It's just a question whether I'm available. I've got events coming up. Yeah, but the problem is I won't be covering them from Botswana or Namibia. I'll be covering them remote. I don't have the coin to make a trip there. I wanted to go to the UK to go to the Springboks test, but there's no tickets in Scotland or Twickenham, so I can still get tickets for Cardiff, but and I take a chance on getting tickets for Twickenham and Murrayfield, but then I have to be really super flexible in my travel, so we'll see. That's in November. That's the trip I wanted to go on. Exactly. Israel's being blamed for the murder, but I honestly think it was Iranian secret services who killed the guy. They're already making a movie about how Israel and the Mossad got in there, but how do they know? Exactly. When Israel makes an attack, they claim it. Exactly. The exception was Munich. They made the claim after they killed them all. Been Lecker at the back of the class, off to watch the 4x100 relay. Go Bucka. Okay, but that's not on. Was that on now? We coming up on it? Ooh, shoot, we're coming up on it. How'd the women do? Oh, I forgot. Okay, let me check on that real quick, folks. Olympic schedule. Let's see what happened for the women. Are we up to date here? Should have that. 1:15. Women's 1:30. Let's go. It's 1 minute. Okay, got to get that up. Let me get that up. Let me get it up. So Xfinity. Here we go. Come on. The women. Can I get there in time before it starts? Oh, I got to sign in. I'm supposed to be staying signing in. Come on. My provider's annoying. Yes, sign me in. Don't make me this dual authentication. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I'm finally in. Now I got to go to watch live TV. You see what I got to do just to get to? Oh, and it just loaded twice. Watch live TV. Here we go. And since Olympic, come on. 1 gigabyte per second. You still not loaded? There we go. Come on, Xfinity. I think I can. Come on. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is painful. Watch the Olympics live. Yes, Paris live. Come on. I don't want basketball. Who wants to watch basketball? I've lost my mouse. I don't want basketball. Screw that. I want to watch the track and field, man. Track and field. Oh, it went all the way back to the authentication page. Ooh, boy. What will happen if Taiwan, China, North Korea? Well, that's a long discussion I can't answer in a couple seconds. Multiple events airing right now. Okay, which one? I want the track and field. Men's soccer, jazz, gymnastics, cycling. Where's track and field? There we go. Finally got it. Gee, mini cricket's the last one over here. That was a lot of work. It's probably underway now. It'll be over before I get there. Here we go. Yeah. All right, we're there. All right.
So this is, as we saw, as we can see, the rain coming down.
Why do I have Australian announcers? It's raining. Okay, let me get the earpiece in. I had to put on mute so you guys can't hear it. Hang on. I got my earpiece in now, folks. It is pouring. It is pouring in Paris at the Stade de France. U.S. women with a great history in this race. 11 times USA women have won gold in Olympic history at this race. And it is coming down in sheets, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, sheets. Unbelievable how much rain is coming down. This is going to affect this race. We should be starting here any moment now. I'm watching it live. If you want to go, you can go, but I'm going to cover this live. Cargo planes all the time last summer. Yeah, I know, Mr. Obi-Wan. I've talked about that many times. Paul, you didn't have to leave. You can watch it and listen to me. All right. So, the American at the start looks very serious. All right. So, France has Hollande Ollier, Jamia Joseph, Helene Parasol, and Chloe Gallet in their team. A 33-year-old to a 22-year-old. Wow, two 22-year-olds. White girl with braids, Galette. So they're taking along. The players are soaked. It looks like they're glistening with oil on them, but they're soaked. Great Britain, Dina Asher-Smith, Imani Alanis-Gut, Amy Hunt, and Daryl Naita. 22 to 28 years of age for the UK. That girl looks kind of mannish. Now, she looks feminine. Two very dark-skinned UK runners. This should be a hell of a race, folks. These two are two very exciting races. The good stuff. Coming up to the start line. Here we go. We're getting up to the start line. Asher-Smith leading the charge for the UK to start. The crowd is going wild, folks. They're excited at the Stade de France.
The Netherlands on the inside.
Who declared Israel an illegal state? Who declared Israel? That's not a helpful statement unless you tell me who did it. The UN created it, so they can't declare. Here we go. Waiting for the start. Set. And they're off. World record is 40. Here we go. 4x100 meter race. The world record is 40 seconds. And the lead is being spread out. Looks like the UK's out in front early on. They've already done the first handoff. Here comes the second handoff. They take off. And the Brits can't get the exchange. They finally make the exchange, but they give up a lot of space. Great Britain out in front as they get in the second leg. Here they come to the third leg, handing off the baton. The Brits are losing their lead. They've lost the lead. The Brits are now in second place. The Germans in front. The Americans are taking the lead. There go the Americans. We're going to come across the finish line. USA, Great Britain. Unbelievable. USA wins gold. 41.78. It's not a record. Richardson takes it home. Gold medal for the women. USA comes in first. Wow. She looks adamant there. Wow. Sha'Carri Richardson waited for the numbers to be put up. It took a long time to react. Gold medal for the U.S. women 4x100 meter relay. Wow. Thomas looks kind of tired. Unbelievable. They haven't put the results up yet. Is that Germany? I think it is. Great Britain coming in second? Yeah. But the Americans stretched it out. Yeah, it's America, Great Britain, and then Germany in that order for the women. Man, the Brits, that baton handoff hurt them badly. Perfect handoff to Richardson. That was unbelievable. She held it up just like that. Richardson grabbed it instantly. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Beautiful baton pass by the Americans. And Gabby Thomas just blazing. Unbelievable. And there's Richardson at the end taking that last handoff. Unbelievable. Jamaicans smoked in this race. And the men are coming up in just a couple minutes, folks. We get ready for the key event, the men's 4x100 relay race. Wow. That second exchange was perfect. In the hand, Gripson, and gone. Wow. Unbelievable. The Americans get it done once again. Who dropped the baton? Oh, well, UN Court, what, the International Court of Justice? Well, that flies in the face of international norms. The UN can go screw themselves. The court has undermined its credibility. Undermined its credibility. Occupation of foreign territory from an aggressor who attacks your country is perfectly normal in international norms. Boy, Richardson looked to the side. I don't know if that's as she crossed the line or what. So USA, Great Britain, Germany, France, Jamaica, Switzerland, Canada, Netherlands. And that is how they finished the women's 4x100 meter relay. Here comes the next one. U.S. takes another gold medal. That'll give us 31 at least. 105 medals, 31. We're one behind the communist. Wow. It's our first gold of the day. Gabby Thomas. Sha'Carri Richardson. It's our 10th track and field gold medal. Boy, Gabby Thomas is tall compared to her teammates. All right, folks, we got the men's coming up. We got a tornado watch here in central Pennsylvania. Good Lord, I guess I better pay attention and get off the air here shortly. But Germany gets a bronze in that race. Congratulations to the Germans. I was impressed by that. So we are now in second place, but leading in overall medals by a wide margin. So there you go. Women's 4x100 meter relay at 13:30 at 13:47. The men's 4x100 meter relay comes up. Men's semifinal water polo starts right now. Hungary versus Croatia. And in Taekwondo, it's a repage. So, all right. My goodness, folks. Wow, that's exciting stuff. So we got just a couple more minutes here for the men's. If you hang around with me, we'll stick for that. We'll see if we can get a goal there or if Botswana can pull it off. My goodness. Wow, that was exciting stuff. I hope I didn't bore you with my call. Who dropped the baton? UN Court. Well, let me look that up and find that story. Google. Okay. UN Israel. Okay, let's see. Top court says Israel's presence. Okay, well, that's different. Let's see what they say. The top United Nations court said today that Israel's presence in the occupied Palestinian territory is unlawful and called it to end for settlement construction to stop immediately. Issued unprecedented sweeping condemnation of Israel's rule over the lands it's captured 57 years ago. Judges pointed to a wide list of policies, including the building expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank and East Jerusalem, use of areas' natural resources. Court said Israel had no right to sovereignty in the territories, was violating international laws against acquiring territory by force. There's no law against that. There's no international law against that. Was impeding Palestinians' right to self-determination. Some nations were obliged not to render aid or assistance maintaining Israel's presence in territories. Well, the International Court of Justice has just determined that it is irrelevant. 15 corrupt judges have decided to violate international norms and attack Israel, and they've just invalidated their legitimacy completely. They are an illegitimate body and should be ignored in all future cases. Heavy winds early today, but it's calmed down in southeast PA. Well, in central PA, it's much better than it was a couple hours ago. A couple hours ago, I felt like I was in the eye of the storm. I mean, the rain was coming sideways, beating into my windows. I thought I was going to break the windows. It wasn't hail. It was just raindrops. So heavy. And then my backyard, I suddenly had 2 creeks in my backyard. I mean, the water was flowing through incredibly fast, and it was very wet here a couple hours ago. In fact, I took a video of it. Let me see if I can put the video up on the screen for you guys. Somebody's called me. Who's called me? A scam. Oh, jeez. What's this? Jack who? Oh, somebody sent me a message. I'm like, what the heck is that? That doesn't look right. Here's the video. Let me find it. All right, I got a couple of them here. This one's, let me see. Okay, hang on. Okay. No, I don't watch Dr. Phil. He's a Okay, so look here under this tree in my front yard. You'll see what looks like a stream. That's not a stream. That's using my yard, but it's what we call a swale. The property are supposed to have a dip between them so that you get the runoff to the drain. And under the tree, you can just see the edge of it, the drain where the water flows into. There's not supposed to be any water here. This is what it was like 2 or 3 hours ago. There you go. See the water? It's hard to see there, but this portion here, this is a creek right there. So all that right there, that's become a creek. That shouldn't be flowing in my yard. That's hectic. You don't watch him either, but you watch for the interview. Okay, well, I didn't know Netanyahu was on there. I'm not sure what they're smoking at the UN. I agree, Mark. This is an unprecedented. This is when the left takes over the world. Leftists they come up with this nonsense. Yeah, that's horrible. Viva Israel. Yeah, Israel is a sovereign state. The Arabs attacked Israel in 1967, and they defend themselves, and they occupied these territories, and they should have just incorporated them into their country. So screw the United Nations and screw the court. Okay, what's going on here? Did France score? France gets a goal in the 79th minute. They're going to get gold now? Wow, they're going to get gold in sevens, men's sevens, and they're going to get gold in football. Nice haul for the French. It's a shame there's no Frenchmen on the team. Spain wearing hideous uniforms. They look like bananas. It's the worst Spanish uniform I've ever seen. All right, men's 4x100. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This one's set to go off in about 5 minutes. Men of Team USA in the tunnel. Let's see what happens here. Now, I don't know if Noah Lyles was part of this team, and if he's out, and they've had to have a replacement, or this is the team that regularly runs together. I hope it's the team that regularly runs together. Bednarik is on there. He got silver in the 200, Bednarik did. Impressive run. I think he got bronze previously, too. Flood warning is right in my neighborhood. Wow. Wow. So we got 4 minutes before this race takes place. Americans getting ready to come out of the tunnel. So we'll see how it goes. One of the Americans dyed his hair green. It looks pretty silly. Americans have walked out now. Next team being brought up, it's the Brits. Here come the Americans. They're cheering for the Americans. Christian Coleman, Kenny Bednarek, Kyrie King, and Fred Curley. Bednarek is youngest. Yeah, Noah Lyles has got Rona. He's got bronze in that race last night, but he's got COVID, so he's out. He collapsed afterwards, found out he had COVID. Couldn't breathe with the asthma. It's amazing he got a bronze. So he's not in the race. Took him off in a wheelchair. So here we go. Kyrie King joins the team. So there was a substitution, but can the Americans pull it off with Kyrie King? They're setting their blocks now. Just 3 minutes. That's a tough one now for Kyrie King to walk into this in gold medal position where the Americans with Noah Lyles. But with Noah Lyles out, will they still be able to get a medal here? Oh, the Americans at Beijing dropped the baton. Remember that? Yep. Beijing, they dropped the baton. In Rio. Baton went too early and we were disqualified in Rio. They were disqualified. Tokyo, they screwed it up too. So now they're in the final again. It's a good question, Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's because it's French. It's Cornell. And so that just was heard as Colonel. So that's how it happened. Cornell. So, all right. We still got 57 all abandoning me here, man. Shame on you people leaving. We're going to stay for the 4x100. Great Britain, the USA. Could they please cover the rest of the teams? I want to see who's in the race here. China's in this race. That shocks me. Jamaica doesn't shock me. So Kyrie King steps in. And let's see if he can get it done for the Americans. Otherwise, he'll be blamed for it because Noah Lyles is out. Serious look on his face, too. There's a tornado watch where I'm at now, too, folks. My goodness. Got floods and tornadoes. My goodness. Yeah, South Africa's not having a particularly good Olympics. Their best performance was 10 medals in London, and they've only got 4 this Olympics. Nikak, I think, had one more chance to get a medal. We'll see if he does. I don't think he will. I think he's past it. Well, this race is supposed to be run right now at 1:47. It's 1:47, and they're still dorking around here. Did the rain stop? I don't see any of these men getting wet. The women got soaked. So we're just waiting for it. Man, tornado watch right here. That's crazy. What's this Swiss armbands? What? Mike says he's getting hit now with that storm. I find it strange enough in Afrikaans as my second language because I want to pronounce colonel as it's spelt. Well, if you pronounce it as it's spelled, it'd be colonel. Colonel. I don't want to be called a colonel. It sounds like a colonic. You're getting a roto-rooter job there. No, it's Cornell in French. All right, we're taking a long time to get going here. We're now 1 minute late for the start of this. One of the Americans, the guy with the green hair, he's got a big gold chain on. That's silly. Why do you run with a big gold chain? He's got nose piercings, multiple ear piercings. This guy's a weird player. All right, it's the Joker theme, I guess. All right. Tornado watch as we get ready for this men's final 4x100. USA now with 105 medals, 31 gold, 1 gold medal behind the Chi-Coms, but way ahead of Australia, who's behind them. So, Let's see if we can get a gold here. They're still not showing the other teams. This is kind of annoying. I hate this coverage of the Olympics by national broadcasting networks. They don't objectively cover the Olympics. I'd like to see the other teams. All I'm getting is coverage of the U.S. team. I'm watching them stretch. Could tell us who's on the other teams. Could even show us. Not even showing us the rest of the field. Very annoying. Very annoying. Paul, I talked about Secret Service incompetence earlier for some period of time. Come on, here we go. Britain, Olympic champions last time out. They're saying China's a dark horse in this race. A Swedish girl out there. What's she doing? Johansson on the sidelines. I think another event's supposed to be happening right now. The women's weightlifting is going on. The women's shot put final is happening right now. And no update on that. So here we go. All right, Italy, Japan, Great Britain, USA, France, South Africa, China, Canada. So there is no Botswana team in here. What happened to them? They didn't make it. All right, so much for that. 24 years since USA's gotten gold in this race. 20 years since they got a medal. This all comes down. Here we go. 24 years. About 38 seconds it ought to be. 36 is a world record. Go. They're off. World record's 36.84. The Americans are off the races. Here we go. First handoff. It's coming. Oh, they screwed up the handoff. Oh, my God. The Americans aren't even going to medal in this race. They screwed it up royally. We are out of it. We're not even going to get a medal. Oh, my goodness. Canada's out in front. The USA is screwed. They screwed the handoff so bad we're not even going to get a medal here. Unbelievable. It would take a superhuman effort by the Americans to get a medal position, and they're trying, but they're going to finish 7th. Canada's going to finish first. Canada, unbelievable. The Americans screwed the pooch again in the 4x100. No medal. The worst handoff since a drop. Canada comes across the line first. Unbelievable. How did they screw that handoff up? Unbelievable. Horrible job by the Americans. The Canadians finished first. The Americans finished like 6th. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. Americans cannot believe that they finished so poorly, but it was so obvious. What a horrible handoff. Wow. Wow. Let's see. I'm going to see the replay here. This was atrocious. We're going to watch the replay. Coleman. Bernard left too soon. Yep. It's a disaster. Bernard left too soon. Yeah, he should be disqualified. He was out of the zone when he took the stick. Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, we're disqualified. We don't even finish. We're disqualified. Unbelievable. An absolute disaster. That is horrible. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. China was doing good, but they didn't finish in the medals here. Wow. Unbelievable. Wow. The Americans really screwed the pooch here. Unbelievable. Wow. Didn't even medal. Canada. South Africa gets the silver. South Africa got the silver. I didn't even see that. And Great Britain got the third. Hey, a medal for South Africa. South Africa got the silver, 37-57. Congratulations. South Africa wins the silver. I didn't even see that, man. Unbelievable. South Africa's 4x100 men's have won the silver medal. Unbelievable. That was incredible. The Americans are shamefully embarrassed by their atrocious performance. No medal. But South Africa gets a silver. Wow, congratulations. Wow. Incredible. Wow. Well, Spain is ahead of France now. Spain is ahead of France. How did that happen? Oh, my goodness. Wow. You got 5 minutes of stoppage time. It's a penalty kick for France against Spain, and Spain leads 3-2. 1 minute 40 in extra time. They got added 5 minutes to this game. Wow. Wow, what a dramatic finish for the men's soccer final. The gold medal match. Spain down 1-0, leading 3-2 with 1 minute 55 seconds in the second half. Extra time. My goodness. Oh my gosh, France can tie it up right here. Penalty kick. This has got to be fixed. How do you get a penalty kick in extra time like this? This could tie it up. The goalie's jumping. He better stop. Here we go. France. Can Spain stop him? What's he? The official's yelling at him for jumping. The whistle blows. Here comes the kick. He's going to get it. He does. It's 3-3 France. And Spain tied up. What an unbelievable gold medal game. Wow. Unbelievable. The French have tied up. The crowd is absolutely going batshit crazy. Man, could you imagine missing that penalty kick? What a goat you would have been. Wow. Exactly. Gave him a penalty shot. I'm sure it was BS. Goalie went the wrong way. Wow. So we only got a few moments left in this game now. My goodness, the Olympics is wrapping up on a hell of a note. But the Americans choked. They should have had gold. They got nothing. Disqualified. 1.5 minutes left in the extra time here. Wow. That's South Africa, man. All right, well, they've left the game. I no longer have coverage of that, so sorry about that. Well, we didn't get a goal there, so that killed us. But the South Africans, wow, with a silver medal. Awesome. They get their 5th medal of the Olympics. This thing is still not updated. Wow. Unbelievable. And the women's hockey, field hockey, gold medal matches, Netherlands and China playing for that. All right, I'm going to wrap that up there. The Olympics, that's unbelievable. What a finish, folks. What a finish. Wow. Let me see if they've got this updated still. They still didn't have it updated on News 24. Got excited. They still, come on, get your act together. Update this stuff. Let me get to Twitter and see if anybody's got it on Twitter. Oh, man. 4x100 meter. There we go. South Africa, here it is, yeah. Walaza, Nkwana, Masawange, and Simbani finished second in the men's 4x100. Silver, there you go. Brilliant. That already has 32,000 views. Wow. Wow, that's incredible. Well done, guys. South Africa gets a silver medal in the 4x100. That is awesome. The women take gold for USA. Awesome on their part. Man, some really awesome ways to wrap up the Olympics today. Some heartbreak. Noah Lyles out with the Rona. That sucks. Wow. That was incredible by South Africa. Unbelievable stuff there, folks. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Well done. Well done by the South Africans. Canada shocks the world. Indeed, they did. Yep. Wow. Unbelievable. Well, there you go. It's time to wrap this one up on a Friday, folks. Thanks for being here. What's your comments over here? Sometimes the goalies just need to stay in the middle. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, we all got to run, okay? Most sketchy was knocking the Romanian out so they could have 3 dark-skinned babes on the podium in gymnastics. Yeah. There you go. Interesting, Keith. Silver, says Ashley Engelbrecht. Yep, all silver. Keith says, I'm a bit competitive. Nothing to do with the taking part. Chris is rooting for South Africa. Yep. The U.S. team messed up with the one pass. Yep. Oh, Mr. Punisher was a competitive team. We expect they could actually get a medal, so it's not a shocker. What did Paul say that I missed? Oh, so emotional. Yeah, no, I do get into it. I do have a basement, but I have a big window in the basement, which is not a good thing. So, but I do have a basement. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm not worried. I look tornadoes in the eye and eat them for breakfast. Last words. Famous last words. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yep. Anyway, Hungary's up on Croatian water polo. Okay, thanks for that update. Let me just take a look and see quick updates before I leave and what we got going on here. So, table tennis, the French got bronze over Japan. Sport climbing, we covered that earlier. Hockey, we covered earlier. Diving, women's 3-meter, we covered that. Football, the bronze for Germany. Table tennis, gold for China over Sweden. So Sweden gets the medal. And it jumped on me. Wrestling, still going on. Athletics of women, gold, USA, Britain, silver, bronze for the Germans. Hockey, still going on. Netherlands and China. And beach volleyball is now starting up here shortly. So, wow. Man, they still haven't updated the men's on this thing. It's crazy. But South Africa now has another medal. Congratulations to South Africa with a silver medal. That's awesome. South Africa, it still has them at 4 medals on the table, but they'll fix that. Man, that was pretty cool. But News 24 has still not got it updated as silver medal. They should be updating that. There you go. South Africa lands silver in 4x100 as Simbani finally has his Olympic moment. Yep. So Wade van Niekerk wasn't on the team. What's that all about? Interesting. Wow. What is that all about? South Africa won its 5th medal at the 24 Olympics after a 4x100 men's relay team claimed silver. The team of Bayande Walaza, Sean Masawangini, Bradley Nkwana, and Simbani finished in a time of 37.57, a new national record for South Africa to make history by winning their country's first ever medal in a relay event at the Olympics. In a particularly significant moment for Simbani was finally bagged an Olympic medal after finishing 4th in the last 2 editions of the 100-meter. The elation on his face was unmissable as he crossed the line after taking the final leg and continued sprinting to the arms of his teammates. It was a superb effort from Simbani, who was in 6th position when he took the final 100 meters before blasting his way into 2nd place. Canada won gold, Britain got the bronze. The rain was pouring down. Wow. That adds to Tatiana's gold and silver in the Blitzbox bronze and Alan Hatherley's bronze in cross-country mountain biking. Wow, there you go. Awesome. Yep, that's pretty cool. Congratulations, South Africa. And tragedy for the Americans again. They choked again. Unbelievable. Wow. Well, I'll do this here. Oh, what? Oh, that's why it's the wrong spelling. No, that's right. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, there we go. That's pretty cool. Yep, the South Africans have won silver. That is pretty darn impressive. Well done. All right, guys, let's wrap it up here. There's a hint of no with the beard. What a great feed, Colonel. Thank you for birds and bees. Have a lovely weekend. All right, please tune in for Rugby Senate. I will be at midnight my time, 6 a.m. South Africa time, to cover the Bucks versus the Wallabies in a very exciting lineup. Let's see what happens. I haven't checked the Wallabies line out yet. And then we've got 4 Curry Cup games on tap in the morning. We've got 3 games on Saturday, 1 game on Sunday. Thanks a lot. Yep, finally another medal for South Africa. All right, that's it, folks. On Women's Day 2024. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for hitting the like button. Appreciate the handful of people stuck with us to the end. God bless and have a lovely evening. And I'll catch you guys in about 10 hours on Rugby Senate if you follow me there. Cheers.